Welcome to our Techtonica demo day. This is amazing. It's incredible to think how quickly this transpired, and I have the distinct privilege of being a part of the developer advocates group. And when Michelle said we need a temporary home, I think I jumped on it, like thinking I was buying tickets to a concert. I'm like, I want to be the first one. I want them here. And we have this beautiful space and have had the opportunity to host y'all now for how many weeks so far? Like 3? Oh gosh, I wish it was longer. And I know that when I came in, had the distinct privilege to hear briefly quick lightning talks on what you all were working on. I haven't been that inspired in a really long time, and to look out and see all these beautiful women of color faces and this incredible work that you're doing. It's a real privilege to have you all here, and it's a joy to know that you're here creating amazing shit in our space daily. So when we said, I love these ideas, and we said, let's do a demo day. So here we are. And I know that you all have done this, and so you should be totally polished and totally know your shtick, and I'm really excited about it. So without further ado, I want to introduce Michelle Glauser, who's going to introduce you all, and we're just going to sit here and be in the presence of incredible, amazing ideas and things that are going to really transform the world. And I'm just so privileged to be in your presence and to see the incredible work that you're doing. So thank you. I'm looking forward to be a captive audience member. So Michelle.
Thanks, Merritt. Okay, so I'm just going to do my pretty quick introduction to Techtonica. Hi, that's me. I'm the founder and CEO of Techtonica. And oh dang it, I keep forgetting to change this. 6 years ago now, I became a software engineer, and it was through this brand new concept of a coding bootcamp. And it was so empowering. Within a couple of weeks of graduating, I tripled my income. And I was just like, wow, this is amazing. So I started doing a lot of community work because I saw that tech did not look like this. And this I Look Like an Engineer ad campaign is something that I spearheaded in 2015. And it was really whirlwind, unexpected, grassroots. And I said, that was really great to work on something I'm passionate about. And I want to take it one step. I want to help empower people who are in danger of displacement in our area by providing them skills they need to triple their income the way I did. And I did a bunch of research, found that we have an income disparity worse than Rwanda across the street from Twitter. Oh, wow, this is really a huge problem. And I just kept thinking, what if they had the same opportunity that I did? But I saw a lot of barriers. So tuition for coding bootcamps has tripled since I attended. So even with unorthodox family and friend begging I did to be able to pay for tuition, I wouldn't have been able to do it now. You still have to be able to pay your rent. You need to have a laptop. You're probably gonna have to quit your job. And I felt like most existed weren't very safe for underrepresented groups. And most importantly, if you don't have a tech network, it's going to be really difficult at the end of your training to find a job. And I felt like that should be built into. So I said, well, tech companies need some more diversity on their engineering teams, and people around here need some more training. Why don't we have them help each other? That's why I started Techtonica. So we partner with different companies around the Bay Area to offer the 6 months of tech training that these are about to complete. And we provide living stipends and job placement, and it's specifically targeted for local women and binary adults. So they can tell you all about our very, very long application process, but basically they come to multiple workshops that we have advertised around the Bay Area and with nonprofit partners. And then after their JavaScript workshop, they fill out a very long application, do a code challenge after one workshop. But we wanted to make sure they could apply what we covered and stretch themselves a little, and all of you did. And then we pair with them and we interview them. Board interviews them. So our program is totally open source. It's all on GitHub. Yay! We have had many, many, many volunteer events where people just come and start working on different topics, topic outlines and projects so that our apprentices could then learn through the content that's on GitHub. And it's project-based, it's all industry professionals who have developed it. And even though I myself code in Python, I wanted it to be full stack JavaScript because I felt like if they had a strong foundation in one language because they've used it in both the front and the back end, they'd be more able to expand to other tech stacks. And then during their last month of training, after we've matched them with partner companies, they can start preparing for the tech stack they'll be moving into. So it's over 900 hours of training. So these are some of our supporters. We always need more. So if you want to help refer anyone, just let me know. And the sponsors get all sorts of great stuff. They have more diversity. They get all of the shout outs we can possibly manage. We do office visits and provide some inclusion training, and you get to support the local community and have a tax exemption. So like I said, if you have friends at companies around the Bay Area who could advocate within their companies to be sponsors, we still need another 2 hiring partners for this class. Graduation is next Wednesday, so the faster you move, the better it is. And spreading the word's always great. We're very active on social media. We take donations, and we love volunteers. So check out our website for more information, techtonica.org. So yeah, these are our amazing apprentices. I'm so excited for them. And they have been building final projects that they are going to demo at graduation next week, which you can also attend if you would like to. It's going to be at Checker. But they're going to show those to you today. So we will start with Michelle.
Hi, my name is Michelle as well. And before Techtonica, I was in the classroom for 3 years. I was teaching in Florida for 2 years through Teach for America. And then I taught in the Bay Area last year as a founding teacher at a KIPP school in Oakland. And technology really made a difference and an impact in my classroom. Last year, I had a full set of computers, and just having access to technology really helped me help my kids reach the academic goals. So when I started realizing the impact that technology can have in a classroom, I started thinking about myself in the tech industry and how I could contribute, because as you all know, tech does impact more than just a classroom of 30. It impacts people around the country and around the globe. So when we had to think about an idea to create an app to solve something, the first thing that came to mind was to solve an issue that was very close to me, which was that every summer, unfortunately, a lot of things had to come out of my pocket as a teacher. And so I came up with the idea of FreeUp, which is a platform for teachers, caseworkers, or families in need to go to and find free, lightly used items. Okay, so the main page is just going through and exploring what is available. It's a little hard to see from here, but you could actually see the city from the search box. Then you could go into the upload section. You could click a picture from your computer, put a title on it, and then click the upload, which pops up a modal where you could put the size of an item, and it goes from like infant, kids, and teen sizes. There's also a section where you could pick a category. And there's Places, I use Google Places API to eliminate spelling errors. And I think you'll be able to see it. Oh, it's replaying now. So yeah, that's like the main screen. Oh yeah, and once you're uploaded, you can see that's the image that I picked from the computer. And from here, I will show you that you could explore through other cities. So here's San Francisco. Those are the things that are available in the city. Well, I put everything up, so it's not really available. But I put big cities like New York. And so yeah, you could scroll around. And what I'm still working on right now is figuring out how to do an in-app messaging system, because I definitely think privacy should be like a big thing I keep in mind. You could also log in. I use the Auth0 API and to integrate the whole login system. And the stack that I used was the MERN with MySQL, Express, Node.js, and React.
Who's next?
Hi everyone, my name is Stephanie, and before I dive into my project, I want to let you guys know a little bit about me because it plays a lot into what I created. So I was born in Southern California, first generation from immigrant parents, moved up here after high school because we lived in the suburbs in Riverside. It's affordable, but it's very boring. And I just didn't want to be there anymore. And I moved up here for college, graduated, first in my family to attend college and graduate, and then went into the nonprofit sector for a bit, worked in education, and did a job where I got exposed to front web development, just managing their their WordPress website, and I was like, oh, this is really cool. I remember this from like high school. Kind of bugged me in college a little bit, like maybe I should pursue this, you know? And so I found out about Techtonica, got here, and it's been a very rewarding experience, and I met really amazing people here, you know, it's amazing, and the journey, my journey up to this point has been awesome and very rewarding, but it hasn't been the easiest. One of the things that I grew up with is always having the fear of possibly my parents being taken away or possibly family members not being around. When problems would arise and people would call the cops or like some sort of authority form, it didn't necessarily mean that they were there to help. It meant possibly that my dad or my mom could be taken away. So I grew up with this fear, and the community itself knew about this fear, so a lot of them would orally tell themselves, like, hey, watch out, you know, there's maybe a checkpoint going on Main Street and 4th Street, you know, and so it was really a unified community. And then over with tech, it has grown a little bit more, especially with Facebook and Twitter going on. A lot of people have been able to mobilize and move that oral community into like using technology to their advantage. But one of the things that I still grew up with thinking is like, when to this day is like, would it be nice to have a platform to report these checkpoints and currently now ICE raids that are happening anonymously, and for people to know and possibly watch out and avoid, you know, because it is a fear that at least that I grew up with, and I think a lot of people also grew up with. And I created a platform called Salient Alert where you can report checkpoints and ICE raids that are currently happening. And yeah, we can go into the demo now. So this is the main page where you can either do report an ICE raid or a checkpoint that is happening. Here I'm reporting an ICE raid, and you can put in information about the ICE raid that is happening. Here I just put, you know, ICE raid is happening in Pilsen, which is a very predominantly Latino community in Chicago, and put in the address for it. So did a tester kind of there. And then you can put in the zip code, then you can put in the city, and then you can put in the state, and then you can also choose a date and the time. The reason that the date and the time is more so you can go to reports and then you can see the marker render on there. And for the date and the time, the reason that you can report into the future is because, you know, sometimes ICE raids will be planned ahead of time, so it's also like a way to, if you know about something, you can report it ahead of time. There's also a resource tab because there's other people in the community already doing work for this. So there's Notifica, SF the ACLU. There's a ton more that I didn't have yet time to integrate. And also given more time, one of the things that I need to implement is data validation, so a voting up, voting down feature, just to make sure that this data is accurate, and also alternative routes to avoid certain areas too. And yeah, the stack that I use is MERN, MongoDB, Express, React, and Node.js. And I also use the Mapbox API to render the map. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Talia, and I'm going to share a little backstory about my project. My project is called Frisco Rap Scene, by the way. Okay, so Frisco Rap Scene began before I even knew how to code a lick. It was about a year ago. My husband had the great idea that we should start promoting all the artists that are based in San Francisco. Why? Because we are recording artists, and we thought this would be a great platform where we can, have some solidarity and a community. About a day later, he fell off the wagon, and I'm like, no, this is such a good idea. I'm gonna continue with it. So for like the next 6 months, I just continued to promote these artists, and I saw how much content was out there from these artists that wasn't being seen or acknowledged. So I was trying to encourage my husband to build a platform, a website, because at the time he was going through a boot camp. And unfortunately, he didn't, so I started to threaten him. If you don't do it, I'm gonna learn how to code and I'm gonna do it. And then I found Techtonica. So a year later, Frisco Rap Scene is here. Okay, so what is Frisco Rap Scene? It basically gives artists the ability to upload their creative content, both videos and music currently. Okay, so we can start the demo. Okay, so this is our landing page here, just welcoming any users and artists. And then we have our music section, and here, the music section is rendering all of the artists' Spotify links. So here, it's just Spotify songs, so users can come through and browse any content that's available here. And then we move on, and we have our video section. And here, there's YouTube videos. So I use the YouTube's iframe API. And here I'm just showcasing, some of the videos. This is actually one of my older videos. So I have 3 children, and in this video, I was pregnant with my 3rd child. Okay, and then moving on to the next section, which is the submissions feature, and this allows the artist to submit their content. So the first form is for their initial submission, which captures their location and name. The second one is for their artist name, song title, and this is where they would submit their Spotify link. This is the video section. So this is similar to the song form, except for here they would submit their YouTube link. And here I'm demoing the ability to do so. I'm not using a San Francisco-based artist, Diggable Planets, but as soon as the submission is ran or whatever, or has been captured, it should be on the videos page. So let's check it out. And it is there, Diggable Planets. So users, they can basically just check out any content that's here, enjoy it, share it. One of the things I actually want to include on both the video section and the song section is like a chat feature, so that people can put their little comments. So the next feature is search, and this will give the user the ability to search, just go in, and if they just wanted to find an artist, they can go in, type the artist name, and it will render any of the content that the artist has on the platform. If I had more time, one thing that I would do is include an event section. And this is where they can submit their events and anything that they have going on, and then supporters can come check out the calendar and attend. So this is Frisco Rap Scene.
All right, hi, my name is Vivian, and just to tell you a little bit about myself, so before Techtonica, I was a chemistry graduate, and I realized after graduation that I didn't have, my degree was just kind of like a label. It didn't provide me with the opportunities that I thought it was going to give me, and I really wanted to find a place where I can do a lot of meaningful research work, but in order for me to do that, I would have to go to grad school and get my master's or PhD, and growing up in a low-income family, that was just out of the question. And it was weird because I always tell this story of how I found out about Techtonica. It was the day that I came out as gay was the day that I saw the Techtonica flyer, which was weird because it was a sign that you did the most bravest thing. And then now it's oh, now you can everything else will become easier. So my project is called Map Journey, and Map Journey basically just builds off of Google Maps functionalities, and it allows the users to map out their travels with customization. And the coolest part is that you can route it based on different modes of transportation. So like, you know how Google only allows you to do like one, like you pick driving or biking. So I just put that all together and allow people to just have that option. And I built this because, as we all know, like travel planning is so fun, but it's not. It's really frustrating, and you know, I found this as a problem is that when you're traveling somewhere, how can you allow yourself to be immersed in like the experience and like the culture of a place when you're stressed out about like how to get there or like what's the next place I want to go to. So let's start the demo. So this is my landing page, and I'm also using auth for login. So if they log in, I'm using my own email. And this is the search page, and this is based off of Yelp, the Yelp API, because everyone loves Yelp. So if you search, you'll get a list of results of beaches in San Francisco, and the user can click Add to Map, which will pop up a modal and ask them to select the category. And the reason for this is that it creates custom map icons. So you can kind of visually see what's around. As you can see, that's the one we just added. So now we click Get Directions, the user can insert their hotel address and it'll make a marker. So they can kind of see like what's in close proximity of where they want to go. So, okay, I guess we're going really far. And we'll take the bus there. So as you can see, it creates a yellow line and also shows the text directions on the side. And say the next place we want to go is eat. So we're going to walk there or bike there, sorry. So as you can see, like it's based off of the legend. And now let's say it's like night and we want to go to Stowe Lake because we have no fear. And we're going to walk there because why not? And then you see it renders out one and they're like, oh shit, it's actually really scary, so let's go home. So then like you'll render driving directions. But I mean, the main purpose of that really is just that people get tired after, you know, a long day of travel and they usually just want to take Lyft or Uber home. I mean, at that point you probably don't want to wait, you probably just want to run home, but yeah. But yeah, this is like the profile page and you can sign out and yeah, that's Map Journey.
Hi everyone, I'm Zaire, and before I actually talk about my project, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. So prior to Techtonica, I was actually working at Apple as a visual merchandiser while I was actually taking classes in coding, design, and UX at City College, and also pursuing a career as a UX designer. So I was doing a lot during that time, and one of the things that kept me going was like actually working out. Because for some reason it was like helped me get a clearer mind and be more productive during the day. But when I started Techtonica, one of the things I started falling off on was working out. And one of the things people say in order to stay successful is you keep doing the things that help you be successful. So that's when I started thinking about like what could I do to kind of actually be able to work out. And one of the blockers I had was actually being able to find a time to do that. So that's when we had like our final projects, I started thinking about designing an app that would help me with that. So I have workout time, which basically takes in your Google Calendar data and then tells you how much free time you have for the week and then suggests workout times and allows you to add those to the calendar. So we can start the video now. Little technical difficulties. Awesome. I find it hard to bend down to this mic. Let's see, can this come out? Awesome. All right, can we? Cool, so this is workout time here. And basically, the Google Calendar has an authorization part here, so I've signed in. And then this tells you how much free time you have for a week. So I have 101 hours, sounds like a lot. Doesn't feel like a lot. And then you have this preferences section here where you can say how many hours you want to work out and how many days you want to work out. And then based off of those preferences, I actually have like a calculation that I've done, like an algorithm using Moment.js. And basically then it suggests workouts for this week in the morning, in the evening, And then I can select, or the user can select one of these workouts to add to their Google Calendar. And then you can see on the next screen, I have a workout here. And that's like 5:30 in the morning. And one of the things that was pretty cool is I was able to actually have one of my classmates test out the project, and they actually got a workout for like 4:20 a.m. in the morning. The notification. They didn't work out, but it actually works. That's, it's another blocker that you have to work on. But one of the things that I wanted to do in terms of improving it was actually getting that midday calculation in there, because right now I only have the morning and the evening. And then another thing is like customizing like the time frame, because not everybody wants to get up at 4 a.m. in the morning to work out. And just to tell you a little about bit about my tech stack, I used React for the front end, Material UI for the design, and then Express and PostgreSQL for the back end, and Moment.js to help with those time calculations. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Zhen. I said this many times. I have a whole bunch of social science degrees. Actually, one of my friends will say, I know you're lying. I know you have a whole bunch of social science degrees. So, and when I was taking courses at Purdue, when I was studying anthropology, it's too low. Okay. I will just hold it. And I was taking statistical courses. And I was programming in using SAS. It's a statistical package. It's very similar to programming in JavaScript or Python or something else, but I just enjoyed coding at that time. I could coding for hours and hours. I cannot stop. How can I stop? I love it. And so, and after moving to the Bay Area, I want to find all kinds of resources. How can I start? I want to start. So I found one nonprofit organization called Mother Coders. I took the 8-week web development course, and then HTML, CSS, JavaScript. And after that program, I took online courses from Coursera and Codecademy. But I want more. I want to do more. I want to learn more. So now I found Techtonica. I joined Techtonica. That's perfect. I have these lovely ladies, and I have Michelle. I have the spouse company, so just perfect. And I have been loving data a lot. So that's when I'm choosing my final project, I shoot the data. I want to data visualization for this project. And in the Bay Area, the housing price, crazy, right? So I have been always curious. So it's so crazy. What it was like before? How does it change? So I will look at my project. We can start demo now. Wait, okay. So my is called History. So it's visualizing data history. So I have some kind of introduction about the data. And then you can see, from 2017 until 1975. You have all the states here, West Virginia until District of Columbia. And you click into that, you have the California from 2017 until 1975. You can also scroll back. You can see how the price changes. And you can also come back to the state level. And I also use OAuth to log in. Once you log in with Google, you come back to the landing page, and you can also go back. Bang! You have your personalized chart based on your preference. You can see the preference here, and you can also change your preference. So let's say 2005, we have Iowa, yes. And then I save it, and I go back to profile, refresh it, I save it again. I can also log out and go back to the generalized chart, just play around with that. And my tech stack is for the chart is using D3, and the front end I use React and Materialize. And for the back end I use MySQL, Node, and Express. Thank you.
I'm Leanne, and a little bit about me. The reason that I wanted to get into tech started with a conversation I had with a friend that actually attended a boot camp himself, and he was just so confident in where his career was going with the skills that he had learned, and I really wanted that for myself. So I immediately, after talking to him, went home and started Googling everything he had told me, like how to learn Ruby, about boot camps, all this stuff. And I started studying while I was working full-time in retail. And so as I was studying, I kind of realized that those two things didn't really align anymore. And I was trying to think of ways that I could break into tech without the technical skills yet. So I was able to find a job as a contractor in customer support at Square. Because I learned that if you're there about a year, you can probably become full-time and then get the benefits of like being able to have a career experience and then get to shadow actual software engineers. So I did that for almost a year. I was like a month shy, and around the same time that I would have hit the year mark, I actually got accepted into Techtonica, and so I went with that, and it was definitely way better than learning on my own, because like I would never have been able to do any of I would not have been able to make this without it. So yeah, when it came to our final projects, I went back to the experiences I was having in retail, where people would just come in and not know what to get people. And I've definitely been on that side of the fence. And I think we've all been on the other side too, where you get all these gifts and then you're like, cool, now I can Google calendar like when I can return them. So Gifter is trying to solve that problem. And it uses data from Etsy's API based off of what the recipient's hobbies and interests. So we can start the demo. So this one, we're gonna search for my friend Jenny, and she really likes owls, and we're gonna be celebrating her new job, and we'll get a few listings. And we pick the cute owl magnet. And so when we press save right now, the app is gonna tell us that we need to log in first. And if we go there using Auth0's API, we'll log in. Okay, so now we have two new pages. We have the profile and product history, and these are my saved ones. So if you logged in, it would just be completely blank. And so now we can search for my mom, and she's really into sewing, and her birthday's coming up, and we'll get some more options. Cool. Sorry, it's kind of slow. And then we'll pick 2 this time. So now when we press save, we're gonna get an alert that tells us it's saved to the database. And if we go to product history, we can see now that they're added to the top. So this is pulling from MySQL, and the stack that I used is MySQL, Express, React, and Node. And given more time, I would love to add end-to-end API calls so I could get some images on there, add the ability to purchase within the app, and maybe find like a machine learning library so I could actually like suggest stuff based off like purchases. So thank you.
Great work, everyone. So looking ahead, like I said, their graduation is next Wednesday, and you are welcome to come. Their links are all over our social media, but they will be matched with companies, as many as we can get committed by then anyway. And they will then have mentorship continue at those companies, and we will be doing check-ins to make sure they're doing well. And I wanted to let all of you know to put October 6th on your calendars, because that's when we're going to do our annual fundraiser. And hopefully, crossing our fingers, it will be here. So that'll be awesome. And then October 12th is going to be the deadline for companies to sign up to sponsor for the next cohort. So please spread the word. We talked about doing a panel, but I don't know if there's time. Lizzie, is there?
Yeah, so I think what makes sense, given that I can hear Hubbard starting to eat, is that we invite the women up just for one last round of applause. And I'd love if somebody can take a photo as well, just so that we can thank them. So come on up. love how there are like 20 people with their iPhones. This is great.
Also, I have Techtonica stickers if you want some, and you can come say hi to us on 3rd at any time. Have a great lunch, everyone.